Okay, just got out on the water, and I'm seeing there's a big school right here. Looks like they're tailing. I'm getting kind of close to them here. Looks like black drum, might be redfish, but I'm gonna work this area and see what we got. But yeah, there's definitely some fish here. When I first start casting to a school, I always start on the outside edge. The fish that you see could possibly be in the center of that school, and the school could be much larger than what you're thinking is. If you try to cast too close to them, you could land on other fish and blow the whole school out. So I recommend starting out a little bit further and then working your cast closer and closer to that school. Work your way into it instead of casting right on top of it the first time. Now, what was happening in this situation was the water was about 18 inches deep and the weeds were about 12 inches tall. So these fish had their noses down in that grass. So every time I would cast my lure, it would stay on top of the grass and the fish never saw it. And then as I would place my cast closer and closer to the fish, I just wind up spooking them off because my line hit their backs. Oh, I don't think he ate it. I think I just lined him. At this point, I decided to switch over to a topwater lure because I thought the noise would attract the fish and maybe get their attention and get them looking up. And I started doing the same thing, started casting towards the outside of the schools, and that resulted in some blow-ups and some follows, but it wasn't until I casted right in the middle of the school and drug my lure over the top of it did it result in an actual hookup. There we go. Nice schooly red on the new moonwalker and the mullet pattern. That's pretty cool. That's a school right over there. I'm gonna see if I can chase them down. After that fish, the flat completely cleared out, so I decided to go to the spot I wanted to go to in the first place, but the trouble still continued. I saw tailing fish, there was redfish in the area, but I could not buy a bite. I did manage to catch a small trout, but I wasn't having the success that I wanted. Not the red that I was after. I was chatting with another angler and then all of a sudden a school of red showed up. We both worked this school, but neither one of us had any real success. I watched the school for a little while and I realized that these fish were just ultra spooky. Being in that shallow, clear water with a lot of fishing pressure had them off and they were leader shy. I decided to go down from my 20-pound leader to 12-pound leader, and that's when things started to happen. Nice. I didn't realize there was that many there. So I switched over to 12-pound leader instead of the 20 that I've been using because I've been watching these fish react, and it seems that these fish are really, sensitive to that leader material. So hopefully I can get some more to bite after this. That's it right there. Got that on the tweaker on the 16th ounce Haas Helix. Now, one thing to mention too is I actually changed the lure to a tweaker and I made it smaller. And the reason why I changed lures was because I needed something that could cast far. And this lure is designed to do that. So between going down to a 12-pound leader, having a lure that can cast farther, and using 7-pound braid, I was able to stay as far away from the fish as possible so I could make a cast to them before they even knew I was there. Now at this point, the smaller trout were coming pretty fast and furious, but it wasn't the targeted intended species, so I went back to a point where I had spooked some redfish off earlier to see if they would react better to this 12-pound leader. Oof. That's a nice red there, a pair of them. Landed right on top of that one. He's coming right at me. Ooh, there's a nice one right down there. Ooh. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 reds right on this pothole. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen my drag a little bit and play this fish. So one thing that I was doing, keeping an eye on these tailing fish, was whenever you see there's ripples in the water, and whenever there is, you know, a big mass of fish, and what happens is the ripples in the water change just a little bit. And I could see it from a distance without seeing the tails where the fish were. I know it's kind of hard to explain on the, you know, on a camera what that looks like, but if you're ever in an area and you see tailing fish, pay attention to what that water looks like. Here's that school coming back around. He's so muddied up I can't even see where he's at. Come on. There we go. And that is him. A good looking fish there. So to recap some of these tips, first, don't spook the fish. Stay as far away as you can. And when you're casting to the school, make sure you work from the outside in. Do not send your first cast to the middle of the school. More than likely, you're going to blow that whole school out and never get a shot at those fish. Having lighter line and lighter leader is a must when these fish are spooky. When they get up in that shallow water and it's calm and clear, they get real sensitive to the leader. So downsizing is going to help you out tremendously. So having the right lure and the right presentation is paramount for success, but what's more important than that is going to be fishing where the fish are. If you are having problems finding fish, especially during this transition time of year, I highly recommend that you join us in the Insider Club at saltstrong.com and we can help you find fish quicker. I hope this video was helpful, and if you got any questions or comments, go ahead and put those down below. As always, I really do appreciate you watching. Have a great day, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.